parents of divorced kids, it's for the children to see that the parents respect one another and treat one another with respect. I think you can learn a lot about a man's character by how they treat the mother of their children. In the interview, sort of said, like, you know, it was the pain of the divorce.
Rumors suggest that BenAffleck testified about Jennifer Lopez allegedly covering up issues related to her past with Diddy. This includes controversial incidents and old tapes, which have reportedly caused tension in her marriage with Affleck. These resurfaced details are said to have contributed to the strain in their relationship, possibly leading Affleck to distance himself.
Really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall? But it saved her the first time, though, didn't it? Because as soon as that club was over and as soon as they finished interrogating her, when she sat there and cried like a baby, I don't want to go to jail, Benny Medina put her with that drunk white boy.
A brief recording of a woman, allegedly Jennifer Lopez, has surfaced, sparking plans for a DVD release. J.Lo's attorney, Benny Medina, has managed both her and Diddy.
Somebody gave me like a minute of a female that was allegedly J.Lo on it. I was gonna put out a DVD on that. J.Lo had her business attorney, this guy named Benny Medina. He was the one managing J.Lo and Puffy at the time. That's the only reason we was going after J.Lo. J.Lo was with Puffy, so J.Lo was on the war, right? PR people. It was about 8 top-notch executives inside the meeting when I'm walking in. They were on me, so I was like, ooh, sure.
Drake was alerted to a possible setup in Los Angeles following a minor conflict with Diddy in Miami. While the situation wasn't directly connected to Diddy, it raised concerns and Drake received a warning.
Him and Diddy were beefing.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they were trying to set up Drake in LA. What exactly was that about?
Right, they had a little beef over something in Miami outside of There were like calls, you know, going around LA, and it was like, you know, Drake here, Drake there, who will run up on them. I'm not saying it, you know, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricky, so there's certain people that are gonna get caught, and I'm one of those people. So I had privy, you know, Drake to a little information, so I hit him. I told him, like, yo, this is what it is, but you know, we over here, and I'm, you know, pretty heavy, so you know, we straight.
Jaguar Wright addressed a troubling pattern of women being harmed or silenced by powerful figures such as Diddy and Jay-Z. She referenced victims and conspiracies, highlighting mysterious deaths that remain unresolved and without accountability.
He put the boots to that girl. She's supposed to be a good no matter who she with. All the time he putting a groom in her. Of course he thought it was still gonna work. He thinks he's God. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. They had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know he did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my name, she mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend?
So Jack, wouldn't you say?
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary aneurysm, just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is f***ing you.
Stephen A. Smith indicated that many individuals might come forward to disclose Diddy's alleged crimes, similar to the way Suge Knight's past actions were brought to light.
Suge Knight said, y'all remember that? When Suge Knight said he was in a world of trouble? Because Suge Knight said, listen, he knows a lot. And so you're looking at a potential situation where...
The indictment accuses Sean Diddy Combs of decades of abuse, threats, and coercion against women and others to fulfill his desires.
State's Southern District of New York versus Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love. All right, and let's read through the indictment. So, for decades, Sean Combs, the defendant, abused, threatened, coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led, controlled, and created. A criminal enterprise whose members and associated engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice.
Hollywood is in shock as more celebrities find themselves entangled in Diddy's alleged crimes. Each day brings new revelations, including a confirmed tape featuring Diddy alongside a prominent figure, which is both real and explicit, with clear identities visible. Everyone is scrambling to protect themselves amid the unfolding situation.
Was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay. You can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video is pornographic in nature.
Jennifer Lopez is reportedly attempting to distance herself from any involvement in Diddy's criminal activities.
This celebrity, everything in her mind, has hired a lawyer to deal with statements she made to police 2 decades ago. Now, Jennifer Lopez has been receiving a lot of backlash lately, but you might be wondering what happened 2 decades ago. Well, once upon a time, J.Lo was dating Diddy. We made an entire video about it, and she got into some criminal activity involving passing a gun over to Diddy so that he could shoot someone that he was in a fight with at the club. Actually, Diddy supposedly used J.Lo as his little gun mule, because she had a purse on her, he would have her hold his weapons. So instead, her being pissy about the depiction on South Park proves how uptight and rude she is. It was a fun gag. So I'm like, wait, hold on.
Rumors indicate that BenAffleck is considering divorce from Jennifer Lopez because of her alleged past inappropriate tapes with Diddy, which could potentially involve her in legal issues. The resurfacing of these tapes is said to have created tension in their marriage.
But now with news breaking that allegedly J.Lo is on those raid tapes, freak-off tapes, and we already talked about that was the reason that they were getting a divorce, and I'm gonna tell you all about that, and we need to get caught up, because I don't like how I uncovered this J.Lo stuff August 3rd. But let me show you real quick everything that happened, how bad it got, and we're gonna get to J.Lo. Diddy's longtime PR guru has called it quits, disconnecting him, disabling the emails. In other words, she's saying, get somebody else to do it. Now, it's been widely known in the industry that J.Lo had sex tapes with Diddy. Now, those tapes were the reason that her first husband, Chris Judd, and then ended, and then also BenAffleck. Now, what I said August 3rd was, the rumor was BenAffleck was pushing for divorce all out of nowhere because he got wind that the Puffy, Diddy, freak-off tapes were coming out, and J.Lo was on there, and she could be implemented and charged.
Jennifer Lopez has been seen attending Diddy's parties, reigniting speculation due to their past relationship. These appearances have fueled rumors and discussions about her connection to him. In 1999, Lopez and Diddy were arrested after a nightclub shooting in New York that left a woman injured, although the charges against Lopez were eventually dropped.
Diddy and J.Lo got arrested. In December of 1999, Diddy and J.Lo were at a club in New York. They were there with Diddy's bodyguard Anthony Wolf and a protege of Diddy who was about to release his album, Jamal Shine Barrett. There was a disagreement and altercation in the evening with Diddy and a local guy dubbed Scar. Some sources say that Diddy was throwing his money around and just showing off. As this is happening, there are gunshots and 3 people get injured. Diddy, J.Lo and his bodyguard make off in a car, but the police catch up with them and find a stolen gun in the vehicle. J.Lo and Diddy were both arrested, with Jennifer being let off later with no charges. One of the victims is a lady called Natanya Rubin, and she got shot in the face. She said, and still maintains, that it was Diddy that shot her. Said she could clearly see him getting the gun and what he was about to do, and she got shot in the face, so it was pretty close range. You could see what was going on. But then Diddy, his bodyguard, and Shine all faced police charges. It was also said that Diddy and his bodyguard tried to convince the getaway driver to say that the gun was his in exchange for £50,000. At the trial, Diddy and his bodyguard were acquitted, but Jamal Shine Barrow was prosecuted and given a sentence. He was sentenced with possession, first-degree assault, and reckless endangerment. No one was ever charged for the actual shooting. Now, Natanya, the victim I just mentioned earlier, still has fragments of bullets in her face from the shooting. She has said, as part of the ongoing investigations into Diddy, she is willing to have parts removed to open the investigation again. So Jamal Shine Barrow ended up serving 9 years in prison. Barrow has commented since Diddy's recent arrest that Diddy destroyed his life,
Wendy Williams has finally addressed Diddy's legal troubles, stating that it's about time he faced consequences. She referenced years of rumors surrounding his alleged misconduct.
Williams is breaking her silence on Diddy's recent arrest, and she's saying it's about time. So the world has been waiting to hear a statement from Wendy Williams in regards to Diddy, because she's been speaking about Diddy for years, and now everyone's been saying she was right. So in a statement to the Daily Mail, she's speaking out. Wendy says this: "What is really weird is that I've been told by so many people, Wendy, you called it, including some people from my family who have said the same." Wendy went on to talk about Diddy's arrest. She says, "You know how I feel about that? It's about time. To see this video on TV of Cassie getting pummeled, it was just horrific." Wendy went on to say, "But now you have to think, how many more times, how many people, how many more women," she wondered. "It's just so horrible." Wendy did go on to tell the outlet that she's doing good amid her aphasia diagnosis and health concerns.
Photos of Jennifer Lopez with Diddy are circulating online, showing J.Lo standing next to him with a serious expression. This has led to speculation about whether they were under the influence or instructed to pose that way.
Sure was taken. Also, look at that bad hair up there. That, like, it's flashing back so badly. That is some bad hair. But J.Lo, you do not go unnoticed. I see you right here in the corner, right up next to Diddy. Now, I don't know if they were told to give a serious look here because, gosh, I mean, or they're on some crazy drugs, because look at J.Lo's face. Could we do a zoom in on J.Lo's face? Because what is she on? I'll take a couple. I'm just kidding. I don't want any of that. Also, speaking of, is that Jay-Z back there? I don't know if it is, but I am ready to talk about his connection to Diddy. In so many of these photos, you can see really powerful.
A memoir claims that Diddy slapped Kim, made death threats, and filmed inappropriate tapes involving young boys, including Justin Bieber. Kim reportedly discovered these tapes and later fell ill.
Has disturbing alleged accounts of Diddy slapping Kim after losing his temper and even making death threats to her. Why am I not surprised? Kim recounts discovering and making copies of tapes Diddy made of himself having sex with young boys he was managing. Oh my gosh, including an alleged tape involving a 18-year-old pop star who went on to be a household name. Justin Bieber. Poor Justin Bieber. Oh, it makes me sick. It makes me actually like spinny. The final entry of the memoir has Kim falling fatally ill, dramatically texting her friends, "He got me," and then calling 911. The publisher, Chris Todd, claims that Kim shared a thumb drive of her writing with close friends, which he obtained and lightly edited into a book under the pseudonym Jamal T. Millwood. Okay, it's an interesting name. It's being marked as printed in Las Vegas, September 7th, 2024.
The book alleges that celebrities like Justin Bieber, Usher, Lil Bo, and others were involved in inappropriate situations with Diddy.
I'm gonna say everything's alleged. It says it was JB, Usher, and Lil Bo. And allegedly, Kim and Diddy had three with freaking J.Lo, with Jada Pinkett, with Will Smith, with Faith, with Jamie Foxx. Like, well, that part made it seem like it was just him and Diddy, but the conversations about Biggie's mom coming up to him during dinner, and just, I hope she never reads this book, because everyone who's named in here, I feel like at least one person should be like, this is BS.
Ashton Kutcher's current wife has reportedly moved properties to distance herself, anticipating that videos involving Diddy may soon surface.
Kutcher, the current wife of this former A-list, mostly television actor from multiple hit shows, have moved into a different property they own. She wants distance when the videos, including him, start to leak. That's really cryptic to read, especially after that last blind item about like the teenage like pop star.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's relationship was controversial from the beginning. After their divorce, Ben Affleck spoke out against her in connection with Diddy.
In the early Ben days, because there's the before Ben and the now Ben. We actually have a soundbite from your 2002 album. You're talking about your relationship with him. Let's take a quick peek at that.
Boy. Feel like you have a partner, you know what I mean? Somebody standing by your side who supports you and is your best friend.
Nothing has changed. So
I say the same thing now.
But you feel that way about him now.
I do.
It's been rumored that they are like not doing well, separating. He was like photographed without his wedding band on, but then they've been seen together ever since. Like, it wouldn't be surprising to me
if they got divorced.
Yeah, if they just like weren't doing well. And she liked something on Instagram that was like very weird. It was like a
carousel?
Yes, of what you need in a relationship or something like that.
Okay, well, that's a tall tale sign.
Yeah, no, like a random Instagram account.
She's saving it for later.
Yeah. She's like, you gotta read this.
Yeah, and it was like, your partner doesn't like spend time with you. Like, it was all stuff like that, and she liked it. And I was like, J.Lo, what are you doing?
Maybe she needs to go back to her bodega and get to her roots and calm down.
Ben Affleck has reportedly acknowledged that after spending considerable time reflecting on his relationship with Jennifer Lopez, He has come to terms with the situation and decided it's time to move on.
20-year-old Ben Affleck is ready to call an end to his 2-year marriage, going as far as to claim the decision to tie the knot was down to temporary insanity. A source says that the star has come to his senses after previously being so in love with 54-year-old Jennifer Lopez that he could not think straight. While he has been spotted spending quality time alone with Lopez in recent days, he now feels his head is clear and he can move on. Quote, "If there was a way to divorce on grounds of temporary insanity, he would," end quote, the Page 6 source said. Quote, "He feels like the last 2 years was just a fever dream, and he's come to his senses now and understand there's just no way this is going to work," end quote. Meanwhile, J.Lo is reportedly talking to Ben's ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, to prevent Ben from relapsing.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more until next time.